Well, it's better than Peppermint at least, but then again, you don't really have to try in order to be better than Peppermint. All you have to do for a revenge film to be better than Peppermint is have your hero kill the people that wronged that hero on screen, and you're automatically better than Peppermint. Because Peppermint didn't even do that. Alright, so Miss Bala is pretty much a generic action film, an American remake of a film of the similar name. I believe it was a Mexican film. In this movie, a makeup artist is going to Mexico to help her friends enter a beauty pageant, the Miss something. But as her and her friend are partying, something bad happens. A hit goes down. A gang of people try to kill a corrupt cop. They get in the middle of it. Her friend gets kidnapped. She gets kidnapped by these cartel, and the cartel wants her to do things in order for them to a favor for a favor, because they're like, okay, we'll find your friend who's been kidnapped as long as you do things for us. And then the DEA find out about her, and then they want her to spy on the cartel, and you got this sort of crime, drama, thriller sort of thing, but just generically done. It's a little hard for me to think of good things to say about this film, because it's not one of those films that's really terrible. It's just one of those very generic, forgettable films that is watchable, it's meh, it's serviceable, just it's really hard to think of good things to say about it. As far as acting goes, I thought Gina Rodriguez was good in this film, and she was probably the best part of the movie. There was one action scene in the middle that I did like, and then with that sort of balancing, trying to stay in with the cartel and trying to help other people out and spying on them and doing all these things so that she doesn't get caught, that whole predicament is good on paper, and I could see a better movie done with this. In fact, I've probably seen other movies that have done this sort of thing far better, because I do see potential in a suspense thriller, sort of crime drama with this sort of story, and I imagine the original does it better than our American version. It's so generic and bland that it's still even hard to think of bad things to say about it. It's one of those movies that it's hard to say good things about it, it's hard to say bad things about it. It's just bland, generic, average movie. And even though I haven't seen the original, I can still see key factors in this movie that definitely feel like something for a more American audience, so those are probably changed. So, like, the cartel in this movie are pretty much supermodels. There is moments where there could be suspense and there could be tension, but it's just done in a very bland, flat way that didn't really feel all that suspenseful. I can think of two moments where this movie could have been good, but because of how it was set up and how it was played out, I didn't really feel anything for it. Like, there's one scene where she has to get across the border with a bunch of drugs. Like, all the drugs are under this van as she's going across the border, and that could have been suspenseful, and she's freaking out, but at the same time, you don't really feel that much in that scene. And another scene where she does something to save her own ass and maybe plant a bug in someone else to show that maybe they were the spy. She ultimately does something that ends up getting an innocent person killed and someone she doesn't want killed. And it would be more effective if we even gave a shit about the other character that she ultimately gets killed, because the two of them, they just have one scene together and then automatically they're like, oh no, you can't kill her, and then she cries, you know. And I get it, she probably feels guilty for what she did because she ultimately kills someone because of her actions. But we don't feel it that much in this movie. In the end, is one of those movies that I can't say is terrible because I didn't hate the movie, and I wasn't necessarily too bored with the film, but at the same time, I didn't feel anything for it. So ultimately, I'm going to give Miss Bala 2 stars. I think it's only going to be acceptable for the most forgiving of action fans, and even then, it's still a bland movie. So, did you get to see Miss Bala? What'd you think about it? Go ahead and comment below. And if you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and check out my movie reviews or countdowns of this year or previous years of whatever. As always, this is Bruce Gifford, and this was Just My Opinion.